Okay, so yeah, that was some nice monkey ball, and now we go back to Jordan97 with some Wii Sport, I guess? Yeah, go ahead.
Yep, some Wii Sports Resort 6-stage cycling. Much more controlled, more chilled out, I would say, compared to Monkey Ball. But it should be a fun run nonetheless. The cycling's dangerous, so if you just give me a second. Gotta put your helmet on. Gotta put your helmet on for cycling. So, sort that out. And I'm gonna have to have my headphones like this because I did not think about this ahead of time. So this will be awkward. But yeah, so this is Wii Sports Resort 6-stage cycling. If I can get onto it, okay. And then timer starts when I press 6 stage. This is done on in-game timing, so time doesn't really matter, but just for the stream. So in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, let's see how long I actually keep this bike helmet on. But welcome. This is 6-stage cycling. It's the best Wii Sports result category. All the other games are terrible, absolutely awful. They're fine. But if you know anything about Wii Sports Resort, it is motion controls. So this is very quick. In fact, I'll just stand it very quickly and show you what I'm going to be doing the entire time. So if you wiggling the remote like this, that's all you really need to know. You can also brake. I'm not a fan of it. It's difficult to do right, I would say best. So we're just going to be casually rolling a wheel every now and then and just taking a nice guide as my headphones fall off. Let's put them around my neck. So there's kind of like one main thing about this that you'll kind of notice, and you'll be seeing me trying to stay behind the different cyclists because there's 99 others. So there's a fair few of them, I'd say. But I'm going to use that to slowly just bring our energy back, because as you can see, just below the position slots, we have a heart counter, 3 of them in fact. So we want to make sure we do not minimize them or take them down to complete 0. You can have 0 hearts for like a tiny bit and get away with it, but once you push too hard, you completely run out of energy, and I think you lose like 7 seconds just drinking, having a drink of water and fully charging yourself back up. So that is something we would like to avoid. It's again, with it being in-game time, it's not even like you could tactically try and either like just lose the energy, or in some cases you might consider falling off. That is not viable. So we'll just sit behind them for a second. Thank you, Akira, for that. Again, like I mentioned, there's 99 other me's on this like general race, and for that, they're going to be, for the most part, you'd like to hope that they're going to be helpful, staying in front of you. You'll notice later though, there'll be someone, there's always someone, they will just completely cycle into you. So we want to try and avoid that as much as possible by like staying out of the way, especially down that downhill section there. That's a very common place where cyclists will just bounce into you. You can't do anything about it. But yeah, I'm going to take this off so I can now hear. You know what? To be fair, even though he's on one stage, I'm surprised I actually had that on full lap.
Excellent!
But I can hear everything now. So yeah, starting first day, 58th. That is very, very far down the rank. Ideally, well, at least personally, I'd like to be around 80th. There's just a lot of me's that we're deciding to go slowly, so we'll just have to deal with that as is. But onto the shortest race. First one's actually not the shortest, this one is To the Beach. This is the, if you watch Wii Sports Resorts speedruns, like the All Sports, which is the most popular category, this is the one that you'll see people do, because it's quickest by like, I think at this point, 20 seconds pretty much. People have been crazily optimizing it and just playing really, really well. But for this, we're just going to be, again, wiggling our arms as before. and just trying to again sit behind people. Make sure we get some energy. The one thing with like Wii Sports Field cycling is hit like you think of it more as like a kind of on rails. There's not too much variance between times. There we go. That one wasn't too bad. The mead was actually that mead was nice, but how quick you can get as long as you like cycling. The only time losses that you can really have are from Mii's cycling into you and not great energy management, which this is actually being alright again. On the beach you've got like a bit of wind behind you, and so you can push it a bit and then just sit behind Haru. I'm trying to like get close enough to them so I can read the names, because I do not know all these names off the top of my head. There are some runners that do, which they are very impressive with their memory skills. I'm not like that, so I'm trying to get as close as I can to them to make sure that I can, one, get the energy to read their name, but I don't want to tap them like that because I'm going to lose some momentum there. But let's say this is pretty solid overall. Have a bit of a push to the end. Like so. Okay. Do you have any time for like any messages or anything? Now would probably be a good time.
Excellent.
Let me check if we have anything. We don't have any new edition, but I'd like to remind you that this marathon is a fundraiser for Amwe Bike, which is yes, our diversity member, but also a speedrunner, which was recently victim of a burglary and lost almost all his speedrunning material, which is either his stream setup, his consoles, or some of his games. And so the PSR Diversity team has decided to put together this small marathon to try to raise some funds and help him get back to track. He's very thankful to everyone here and everyone who donates, so please don't hesitate to make some donation and I'll do my best to do on stream.
Amiibo is a very cool person, so any ways to help out would be amazing.
And I'm really sorry for my really bad pronunciation of Amiibo. What? I'm a weird name.
Hey, pronunciation's hard. But as you can see, we're currently at like, so one other thing that with this run that you've got to be mindful of again, because kind of in the combination with energy, uphill sections you're going to be using a lot more energy, so you can just make sure that you do that. Like make sure you have the heart, try and sit behind someone, don't fall off, which I should just avoid there, and not the smoothest turns. But if you can just manage to not run out of energy, especially going uphill, because it will eat up a lot. Conversely though, when you're going downhill, you can have a nice break. Maybe you like one cycle push and then just kind of let it ride out for a bit. But we sit behind these for a bit longer and they push me out of the way. I took the risk there. Oh, up, and there we go. The Miis are like, so they are much stronger than you. You cannot beat the Miis. If they want to cycle fast, they will cycle fast and just lock you off. I'm going to see if I can try and not overtake too many of these, just for the convenience of later. There we go, that'll do. Where is the Mii? Alright, so I considered making an Amiibo Mii. Turns out, the one I'm not good at making Miis. I am awful with anything creative. But also too, the beard options are not good for the Wii. The original Wii choices, not great. So, I do apologize. I did consider it though. Of course, consider it last minute, like everything I kind of planned. But yeah, this is stage 4. Icarus Bluff. This has actually got a different name in the North American version. I think it's like, I don't even remember at this point. But basically, it's a giant cliff we cycle off. Apparently awkwardly crashed like that, but cool. And that's pretty much the entire reasoning for the name. I think it's like off the cliff or something, is a North American name, which is much less cool. Like, it's interesting that they gave different names. Just did what they did though. So yeah, again, just sitting behind the, I don't even know who that me was, but just sitting behind them. And we're going to just want to make sure we're not using too much energy, because also, like, we've got the uphill section, but then there's a very, very long straight, and we might be able to sit behind someone, which will be good. But typically, you don't get to have someone you can sit behind, so you want to try and just maintain for a long time. And hey, there we go. See, a case where the me can be useful and, like, helpful. It's very rare, but it does happen. So we're just going to keep with fully charged energy now. Just going to make our way down the hill, do the one little push. We'll also looking for a bit of a cycle there going as we're going around the corner, just try and keep it as high as we can. And we want to slip down here just a little bit quicker. You might also notice that this is effectively the reverse of stage 1. This is more awkward, in my opinion, depending on where the cyclists are. Like, there's cases where you can be first at this point, and that's awful. You don't want that. But we'll just take what we can get. Hey, you know what? Free energy. The meets are being nice this time for this race. I've had some like absolutely awful ones where they'll just cycle right next to you the entire time, but they'll not, like, they won't overtake. So we'll just... Okay, again. Okay, I've noticed I'm in third though. That's not ideal. That is not ideal at all. Especially for the next one coming up. Which I would say is probably the most difficult. The most difficult stage to do. So we'll just cycle on the grass here. We round out the race. Very good time. That's very close to my stage PB for this one actually. That's cool. Maybe within like 0.2 seconds or something like that.
Excellent.
Excellent. So yeah, coming up to the last couple of stages. For now, just got to, like, it's quite tame at the beginning. Let me sign in a second, yeah. So it's gonna be like quite tame. It's the very ending that's absolutely awful, and you kind of have to organize yourself around that completely. Like making sure you're not pushing yourself too much, because there's a massive uphill climb, the longest in the game by far. But we also can't help it. There's no particular reason to, like, for me to just purposely stay behind. I think that's Anna, who's the champion for cycling. So kind of just gotta go as best as you can, but also keep, like, in the back of your mind that, hey, you've got a massive uphill climb. You don't want to start it with 0 hearts. You maybe get away with 2 and it not be the worst. Ideally, you just want someone to overtake you. But at least as far as we know, you can't control that. Unless, I guess, you just straight up stop, but that's slow. So we're not going to do that. So again, normally I want to be pushing a bit more. Because again, you wouldn't normally be first at this point. You'd have maybe like a few people ahead of you. But got the first little uphill there. But again, it's not that one. That's not that edge. It's the one where we enter the cave that is coming up. Got a little bit of stage 2 here as well. So I'm gonna be very cautious about this. You're gonna see the game complain at me a few times probably. If one of those meets could just overtake me though, that would be so nice right now. But gotta go slow. One push. But I gotta kind of go slowly here anyway, just to bring up some energy. Oh, nope. There we go. There we go. Right. I'm just gonna purposely sit behind a tiny bit, just to make this not as bad. So yeah, a couple of hearts. It's not ideal. You'd want full energy to be going up, but it's also so rare to get full energy. So we're just gonna try and ease our way up without the game beeping at us too much. Like the beeping is the warning that hey, you're about to effectively die, so stop. There we go. That wasn't too bad getting up the hill. Could have been a lot worse. So we make our way around the corner. Still like a bit of a straight. Maybe the meal will overtake us at the end. We like to have one last ditch attempt normally, but typically you end up still finishing first. And I do apologise for the beeping. There we go. Alright. That was not ideal, but hey, you get what you're given. We're actually on to the last stage now. So,
Excellent.
Again, this is probably just... Again, probably like the second most difficult, I'd say. Stages 1 to 4, then there's some like difficult elements, but there's nothing too bad. But we actually start this one with a massive uphill section as I cycle into the wall right there, because I have no control over my meat. But once we've reached the top of this hill, we've got a little trip into a volcano. Created calls the name in the UK at least, and probably all PAL regions for the English language. I think it's into Makaluhu or something like that. I don't remember what the mountain's called, but the North American is much better this time at least. So yeah, we're just gonna be very slowly going around. It's not very likely that anyone will overtake us, so we just gotta maintain our energy the entire time. But like I said, we've got a downhill section, so we can just not really push at all, get energy back, get a bit of a wind. Make sure we don't hit the banana. Reference to Monkey Ball right there, clearly. And just make our way down. So, I'll say I was kind of like, normally there'd be more instances of the Mii's being an absolute pain and just completely blocking me off. I've had Mii's push me off before. That's never been fun. I've also not hit a rock yet, I think. So we'll hit one soon, I imagine. Oh, okay, not a rock there. There's normally one that spawns. Oh, very kind. So yeah, the time, again, we'll say the time's when we cross the finish line, which will be in like just over a minute. Now, I've got like, I will say, so like there's been a couple of improvements that have been done since I last properly grinded and went for world record attempts in this. Which I have not shown off there. There's like drift, it's like drift boosting or something like that, I think it's called, where you basically like, brake boosting, where you're braking and as you're going around the corner, just pretty much like going full pelt on cycling. I can't do it. I'm absolutely awful at it, so I've not done it to show off. But top runners like Benson, Murasaki, Professor, they're the ones that can do them with ease. And we've got one last obstacle there. Make sure we don't hit the banana. I have hit that banana before on world record pace. It was very sad. Not ideal. And there we go. Time. So, have a quick look at the in-game time, because that's what the actual time matters. Probably somewhere around 14:55, which is more than what I can be happy with.
Excellent.
Excellent. Yep, 14:55. Solid run. And yeah, thank you for letting me showcase this. It's Teardown by the Waffle Man next, is it not? I believe it is. So yeah, keep raising money for Amoeba. Amoeba again, like I said before, very cool person, and it's helped me out a lot. Especially more not so much with the speedrun because I don't run the games that he runs, but with stuff like the podcast. So yeah, take it.
Oh,
I
thank you
hand
very
back
much.
over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your run.
Thank you. The music's great. Yeah, the whale also cool. So happy I've got it. Is it transitioned over yet?